Good luck. Aaron, can we throw him? Do you want captain? Quick. 1 minute.
Welcome to Portimão Day 2. South Africa has 3 games today. First is against Singapore, which is meant to kick off in about 30 seconds.
1, 2, 3, Sharks! Come on! Game on!
Game on!
I have my tripod for you if you want it.
It's all good, thanks Pete. Got my stepladder.
Are you streaming from that device?
Yeah.
Wow. Pretty good.
Sharks are starting on O.
Shark.
On the line we have Tina, Chris, Sandra, Adam and Richard. It's a mixed gender sport. The current gender ratio is 2 women, 3 men. This 45-minute game is about to start. Game on!
Yes, Singapore! Yes, South Africa!
Tina to pick up disc, resets to Sandra.
Dominator!
Adam coming to the middle, straight to Tina. Lovely fast movements. Back to Tina. Sandra looking for a reset.
You're on the break side, Richard, got it!
Great pickup by Chris. Sandra for the reset. Tina going to look further around. Just out of reach. There's not much wind this morning, which Sand Sharks were hoping there would be. Singapore is not a team that plays in a lot of wind.
We need to keep
Singapore
the
resets to the middle, up the line, and that is... She caught the disc, but unfortunately dropped it just as she landed. It's pretty loud on the sideline, so I hope you can hear me. Nice one-handed grab by Tina. Tina directing traffic. Oh! Works out a Mac by Richard. Resets.
Chris! Oh! Nice Chris!
Adam went with a forehand into the end zone. Chris, full stretch layout. Just got fingers to that, but unable to hold on. Well contested first point. Singapore looking up the line. Foul called by Singapore as Sandra went in for that contact. So there are no referees in Frisbee. It's a self-refereed sport. Players call fouls and then have 15 seconds to resolve it amongst themselves. So Sandra's having a discussion with the Singapore player and will decide whether to accept the foul call or to contest it. Both Pieter and Kenny up, which means they're offering a perspective that the players can call on. So that was foul accepted. Means Singapore play the disc, play continue. The line probably going to look into the end zone, and that disc is in for the first score of the game. Singapore 1, South Africa 0.
Ratio 2-3. Ratio 2-3.
So here we have Volunteer who's doing the scoring and also calling the gender ratios. We've just switched to, I believe, two men, 3 women. So on a line we have from left to right, Noku, Jamie, Doug, Pieter and Anna. Sand Sharks are on O, short for offense, meaning that Singapore are going to start with the disc and throw it to South Africa, or in ultimate frisbee jargon, they will pull it. Just in the background there's very slight rainbow over some of the sea. Disc coming in and straight out, which is great for the Sand Sharks. Doug's going to walk it up. Sand Sharks setting up with 3 players back and 2 players deep by the end zone. Pieter cutting up the line, Doug looking for the reset, calling Noku up. Doug now going all the way around for hoping Pieter would come back under, but just not able to do that. Disc is in. One-handed grab by Singapore there, looks going to go over and just getting that score. And Singapore are ecstatic. That is a break point, meaning that because the Sand Sharks started on offense, the hope was that they would score. Instead, Singapore took the point, which effectively gave them 1 to trade points back and forth. Each team starts with a slight advantage, being on offense. Scores 2-0. And behind me I can play Goldfish. I can hear Goldfish playing. Nice, Adam. Gender line is 3 women and 2 men. From left to right we have Tina, Arno, Sandra, I think that's Richard, and Kerschyl. Just coming in from Singapore. Nice floaty pull. Slight bit of wind holding that up, but there's really almost no breeze here. Tina looking for the reset, Arno taking that nicely. Sandra looking for space, Tina struggling with options, putting it deep.
Let's go!
Sand Sharks will hope to have their receiving players get more clear of their defensive players to give our handlers, which the position Tina was playing, more options sooner.
Yes, Richard! Yes, Richard!
Singapore pointing where he would like people to run.
Nice one, buddy. Nice cut.
Richard! Richard!
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, Yele.
Quick release by Singapore. Sandra closing that down. Directing Kersh on the mark. Maybe going to look for up the line. Ooh, and Richard's going to just not in. Caught by Singapore. And a layout score by Singapore. Take the score to 3-0. Nice, Tina. Let's keep going. Yeah.
There's nothing open.
Yeah, we got to get our players. You got to get more options.
Yeah.
So this is where some of the mental game starts or continues. Sand Sharks being 3-0 down. We're starting on 0 for this point and would like to stop the run that Singapore are on. On the line we have Noku, Keanan, Peach, Kenny and Anna. Just coming in, forehand pull, just lands in the end zone. Nice cricket defensive field there. Kenny to Keanan, Keanan popping up. Kenny aiming for space up the line. Oh, wonderful one-handed grab by Kenny at full stretch and at full speed. And then calmly resets to Keanan. He zips it to Peach. Good reset option taken by Peach. Nice and calm. And that's all the Sand Sharks need to do here. Great pickup by Kenny. Just holding that off the ground and called up by Singapore. Good sporting play there. Looking for Noku. Noku going round and just outside of Kenny's reach. And that's the level of intensity that the Sand Sharks will need to keep and play at as they move around on offense. Force is called away by Keanan, meaning he's going to direct the Singapore player towards the ocean to take away field options. Noku marking that nicely. A reset back to the handler, looking up the line. Force being echoed as away on the sideline to help the team. Singapore moving the disc nice and quickly. They're good at this. And a bit of an optimistic put down the line and quite out of reach out of the Singapore player. Sharks have an opportunity to regroup here. Kenny taking his time to get to the disc to get everyone a chance to have a bit of a breather. Let's go, Noku. Disc in. Kenny looking up the line. Wind is picking up a bit here, making these forehands harder to throw. Justin looking for lovely up the line. Pass and grab. Kenny directing traffic. Keanan looking. Stop. To Peach. Nice. Peach is going to step out.
Keanan, get out! Keanan, get out! Yes, that's it!
High release by Peach. Huck. Quite optimistic by Keanan. But much closer to Kenny than it first appeared. Just about a meter out of his reach. This wind is now decently picking up, coming from the direction the camera is facing. This will suit the Sand Sharks. Already Singapore struggling a bit in the wind. Kenny on disc, looking for Keanan. Keanan properly marked, unable to get open. Keanan needs to be working here. Peach putting up a very optimistic put, and somehow Kenny gets on the end of that, just in the end zone. Reset to Anna. Anna looks up for Keanan and just out of drag. Just out of reach for Keanan.
Hey! On the guns up! On the guns up! The arm one down! The arm one down! We are down!
This is a long point, longer than 5 minutes so far. Both teams needing to dig deep into their fitness reserves. Singapore walking up the disc to the line. Kenny forcing towards the ocean. Reset by Singapore. Kenny working hard. Keanan on disc. Kenny on the mark. Singapore moving this disc quickly. Travel is called.
Continuation, Tiff. Great catch.
When a player catches the disc, they're meant to stop as quickly as possible and establish what's called a pivot foot. That's 1 foot
Tiff, you're
that
right, Tiff.
cannot
Let's go.
move.
That's right, go deep, that's right, go deep.
And if they keep moving, that's a travel. And it needs to go back to throw.
Continue, boys. Downwind throws, boys, downwind throws.
Keanan working hard on the mark. Disc going up. And Singapore managed to squeeze that down the line for a score. 4-0.
3-2. 3-2.
Sand Sharks can take a lot from that point, making Singapore work harder and harder for their scores. On this line we have Chris, Sandra,
Weather up there, Raj.
Adam, Richard and Tina.
How's the weather up there, Raj?
Hey Peter, how's it going down there?
Alright.
Peter's alluding to the fact that I'm on a step ladder and I'm 3 feet higher than him.
And in the breeze.
Just coming in. Sandra will pick that up a meter from the far sideline. She's calling 3 handlers back.
Vanish drop.
Sandra putting that deep. Marked hard. And didn't really have any other options.
Lady open!
Is Prem on the handle? Okay, Prem on
Singapore
the handle.
are going to pick this up about 5 meters from the Sand Sharks end
Elevate high,
zone.
Prem! Elevate high, Prem!
Chris aggressively marking that. Looks like the force is towards the ocean.
Beautiful throw, Prem.
Adam marking. Force home.
Nice, Bram. Nice one, Bram. Yeah!
Lay out the attempt by Tina, but out of her grasp. And Singapore score. Let's go, Kersh. Score is currently 5-0 to Singapore. On the offensive line for Sand Sharks, we have Leah, Jamie, Doug, Arno, and Anna. Gender ratio that has more than the other will initiate the pull, so Singapore woman puts the disc deep, assisted by some wind. Doug to Jamie, Jamie straight back to Doug. Anna not able to get on the end of that. Singapore now moving quickly, looking for an open reset. Forces away from the Sand Sharks towards the ocean. Doug looking for possible poach there. Quick backhand score by Singapore. Score is 6-0. On the line we have Tina, Chris, Sandra, Adam and Kerschyl. Sandra talking strategy on the line.
Just put it inside lah, but I don't know whether later they will yelling and seeing stuff. I don't know.
Pull coming in. That might go all the way out. All the way out. That is bricked. Tina going to take that from the brick mark.
Hey, DB and Aaron.
Two. Elbow. Send her elbow.
Tina going for the hack. Let's get there, Chris. Lovely connection between Tina and Chris. Sand Sharks score their first point. And that's a proper celebration. Comment from Amy Bray on the supporters chat group saying, yeah, we're growing. We're playing so much better since yesterday, a lot more team connection. It's absolutely correct, Amy. Speaking of team connections, on the line we have Kenny, Jamie, Peter, Peach, and Noku. Kenny will come in with a pull, pulling almost straight into the wind. Are you happy with your gender line? 3 men? Yeah, cool. The commentator checking the gender line. Singapore moving quickly. Kenny needing to work hard. They go for the layout D, just unable to get that. Resetting quickly. Peter coming up. The speed of the Singapore team is quite amazing, and that's the score. 7-1 to Singapore. Halftime called. In this tournament, the halftime is a 0-minute half, where the teams simply switch sides. There's no time allocated for half because of the lack of daylight hours. Sunrise being about 7:30 and sunset being around 6. On the playlist behind me is Robbie Wessels met Kaptein van die Sailor. I'm going to assume that was Pieter's choice. And Pieter's holding the disc for the pull. On the line we have Anna, Pieter, Doug, Peach and Leah. Doug's called the force as ocean.
Nice ball, Pieter!
Pieter in with the pull. Sits nicely into the end zone. Pieter following that up. Layout D attempt by Doug, just under his hands. Just outside of Pieter's reach. So much happened there, I can't keep up. And Singapore moving the disc incredibly quickly. They're not even waiting for stall 2 count. They put it up the line into the end zone and just dropped to turnover. Doug faking the huck, activating reset to Peach. Anna looking for it. Pieter grabbing that out of the air. Leah just getting that. She'll be nice and calm. Looking for a nice reset to Peach. Peach coming up the line.
1-1-1!
Peach putting it up for Pieter, who jumps just on the end zone, grabs the disc for the score. The score is 7-2 to Singapore. That was an incredible point by Sand Sharks.
You need a timeout before you go 2-3? Yeah.
Nice, Pieter. That's 2 points in a row from the Sand Sharks. First break of the game. Sandra on the pull. On the line we have Anu, Noku, Sandra, Tina and Richard. I think that's Richard because he's putting his hand up to cover his face, but I can always tell from his moustache. Sandra signaling readiness and disc is coming in.
Nice ball!
Ooh, lovely pull, Sandra just out the side. A brick called by Singapore. Meaning they take it in about 15 meters from their end zone, right in the middle of the field, and get to start when the disc is tapped in, which it is now. Noku barely able to get a stalling 1 out before the disc keeps moving. Singapore moving the disc as always very quickly. And are able to sneak it to the far end of the end zone with an outside in backhand for the score.
Get it, guys. Nice one.
2-3, Jamin.
Can we update the score here, please? Thank you. The commentator asking the volunteers to update the score. There's a scoreboard by the side of every field, which is the dream of every ultimate player. The score being 8-2 to Singapore right now. On the line we have Doug, Pieter, Kenny, Leah and Anna. Sand Sharks have mostly been playing a horizontal stack. Ball coming in. Jamie picking up. Doug on disc. Doug to Pieter. Working with the wind nicely. Doug clearing out. Pieter to Jamie. Jami throwing and moving. Lovely disc in the middle from Pieter. Kenny directing traffic. Nice and calm by Kenny as Jami struggling to get free there. Contact made on the layout, no call. I heard that from here, but Anna looks fine. There's a violation call from the sideline. Gender ratio needs to match. Sand Sharks are playing with 3 men, 2 women. Singapore are playing 3 women, 2 men. So the rule for this is that the point needs to restart from the pool with the correct gender ratio, if I recall correctly. Doug calling Peach over to resolve this. Peach is pretty good with his rules. Kenny clarifying what's happening there, asking which team got that wrong. Clarified that Sand Sharks got the call wrong. Kenny then saying there are 2 options for how to resolve this. I didn't hear what the first option was. The second option is that the point restarts from the pool. So there's a discussion to work out what to do. I'm sure someone more knowledgeable than me can put that in the comments. Something Sand Sharks need to work on. There is an assigned 2 people per game who are responsible for knowing what the gender line is for each point and echoing that to the team and ensuring that that's correct. There's a discussion pre-tournament for how to do this. So this is a piece of learning that will be taken into the post-game debrief. So Singapore have chosen to switch out one of the Sand Sharks players and to resume play. So Leah has come onto the field. Gender ratio re-established at 3 women, 2 men. Offhand, backhand, up the line. And a huck, up. Caught by Singapore. Offloaded for the score. Again, stall count not getting higher than 1 for most of these points. Scores 9-2 Singapore. Peter, who's on gender on our team?
No one, that's the problem.
Can we nominate someone even at this point?
Guys. The main one, right? I'll be on it.
Great, Peter nominating for himself for gender pool. Thank you, Peter. Gender line on this point is 3 men, 2 women. On the line we have Tina, Sandra, Adam, Chris and Richard. I believe that's all 3 moustaches on the line right now. Tina to Sandra, Sandra looking for options.
Elbow, elbow!
Spicy forehand from Sandra to Adam. No, to Richard. Turnover. Singapore moving quickly. Sandra getting to the mark. Incredible layout D there from Richard. He's going deep. Tina's going to look for that huck. Goes for the reset. Nice and calm. Tina making good decisions. Sandra looking for the open. One-handed grab there from Chris. Sandra to Tina. Tina nice and calmly up to Adam. Layout grab. Adam to Sandra. Sandra looking downfield. Sandra to Tina, but layout D, making it difficult for Tina to collect that. Full stretch layout from Singapore, who get the disc moving quickly. Layout attempt from Chris. A lot going on this point. Sand Sharks hustling hard. Sand Sharks have to work really hard to get the stall count higher than 1, which they're doing. Incredible layout D attempt there from Richard, just unable to grab that. Another layout attempt from Chris. Working incredibly hard. Singapore with the point. Scores 10-2 Singapore.
Second Patrick! Second Patrick!
That's a level, guys. Great play, great play.
I nearly had that.
On the line, we have Leah, Peach, Arno, Keanan, and Jami. Game time's 35 minutes in so far, 10 minutes left. That's the best pull of the game so far, deep into our end zone. Jami to Peach. Peach looking for options, Leah getting free up the line. Peach resetting to Jami on about stall 5. Peach needs to clear out, which he is. Under to Jami, Jami looking for options. Jami not having any options. 3 Singapore players in front of her. Peach working back, just unable to grab that. Singapore looking for what they hope is an easy score. Sand Sharks is going to hustle here. And Jami making that just too hard for the Singapore player to grab. It's turnover on the end zone. Jami to Leah. Leah grabbing a tough throw. Keanan correctly going for the huck, but just unable to get the right shape of that into the wind. Sand Sharks looking more and more confident.
Let's go, Keanan, get him back! Come, Keeny boy! Let's go! Make him work! Let's go, Keanan.
Encouragement there from the sideline.
Leah, she gets nothing!
Arno working hard to shut this down, forcing a throw over the top. Arno could view that as successful defense. Singapore forced to lay out for that, went with both hands. Good form. Huck going up, and just out of reach, but not that far. Turnover in the Sand Sharks' home end zone. Keanan picking up, going to walk it up to the line. Here's Jami as an option to his right. Arno putting that up to Leah, but just unable to make connection. Leah did well to be in space. Singapore being very aggressive in how they're marking. Follow that up. There's a foul called and uncontested by Jami. Disc back to Singapore. We'll tap it in. Restart.
Downwind throws! Downwind throws!
Layout grab by Singapore again.
Downwind,
Wind
downwind.
making it harder and harder for them. Layout D attempt there from Peach, shutting that down. He's going to have to work really hard to follow his player up the line, which he does. Great marking by Keanan to stop that. And Singapore just dropping that. Probably the first unforced error Singapore made this game. Let's see if Sand Sharks can capitalize. Arno putting it up to Justin Peach, who's going to put that deep. And Keanan needs to hustle for that. It's going to be tough. No call. Arno has the disc. That's set really, really nicely. Arno hustling for options. Peach giving that to him. Peach calmly putting it right through the middle for the score to Arno. Sand Sharks score their third point, taking the score to 10-3 Singapore. Singapore players breathing very heavily coming off the field, having to work very hard for that point. Gender ratio for this point is 3 women, 2 men. On the line for the Sand Sharks we have Tina, Sandra, Chris, Pieter and Noku. Great work, Keanan. Great work, Peach.
Thank you.
Great point, good hustle. Peach working really hard on D into our end zone and then all the way in our home end zone and all the way up the field into Singapore. Sandra in with the forehand pull. Sandra picking up.
Let's go, Tina! Let's go, Tina!
Layout D from Sandra.
Hold on, Sandra!
But there's a foul call by Singapore and a foul call on Sandra's side. Both fouls uncontested. Disc back to thrower. Singapore on disc. All the players have to go back to the position they're in when the foul was called. When teams agree and agree on the stall count. Disc is coming in on stall count 0. Disc in. Singapore player confirming the stall count after the disc being tapped in, to the confusion of everyone. Violation called. Back to start. Everyone is ready. Noku tapping the disc in. Pieter going to work hard to shut this down.
Let's go!
Forces away from Sand Sharks. Sandra shutting that down nicely, forcing the reset. Noku going to work hard to do the same and following her player up. Great D by Chris, stopping that score option. Chris is going to follow his player deep. Singapore putting it into the middle, going to go outside. Chris shutting that down again. Oh. Tina's player just getting in front of her. Singapore with the score. The score is 11-3 to Singapore. Nice, Tina. Good hustle. Great shutting down those options, Chris. You worked hard there. Chris saying there's no up call, something the Sharks can work on, particularly the sideline. Chris is saying he potentially could have had a defensive bid on that disc if he had heard an up call earlier. Singapore with the disc. On the line we have Leah, Jamie, Peach, Doug and Anna. Peach with the pickup. Gonna look for Jami quickly, which he does. Jami to Anna, nice movement. Anna to Peach, great movement. Peach looking deep, probably gonna go with the reset. No, Peach going with the huck. It's gonna get to Leah maybe. Just not able to connect there. Singapore with the pickup. And he has very cool sunglasses. Singapore playing very quickly. That's probably a small count 2, if that. Lots of give and go by Singapore. They're not static after they throw the disc. Keep moving. Oh! That was amazing. Anna going for the disc and putting off the Singapore player cutting up the line. He went for one-handed grab and wasn't able to grab that. Doug looking lovely, controlled forehand by Doug. Jami to Anna, Anna back to Jami. Jami up the line to Peach, but the wind catching that, taking that just too in field out of Peach's grasp. Doug going to set up on defense here, forcing Ocean. Singapore faking huck and offhand backhand. Disc is called up. Doug being called by sideline to the player. Singapore needing to lay out to grab that and unable to hold on. Injury called by the Singapore player. Does not look too happy after that layout. Setting a new player on. 45 minutes has been reached for the game, which means 1 point is added to the current score. So first team to reach 12 points will win. The score is 11-3 to Singapore. Doug on disc. Jami's free. Doug going for the huck to Anna, who will have to lay out to get there. Wind taking it away from her.
Let's go, Jackie boy. Let's go. Let's go.
Doug on defense, forcing Ocean. Tina laying out for the D, almost getting that. Singapore bubbling that, but holding on. Jami working hard on D. Singapore grabbing that. Layout will need it. Layout score for the win by Singapore. Incredible display by the Singapore team. Very high level ultimate. Okay, I'm wrong about time cap. We still play one more point after this. Score is 12-3, so it's game to 13. I always seem to get the time cap calls wrong, so please feel free to heckle me in the comments, but nobody else. Okay, Singapore are going to pull this. Gender line being confirmed as female by Singapore. It looks like to me that they have, yes, female. On our line is, okay, I'm confused about gender, but on our line is Tina, Chris, Adam, Richard, and Sandra. Who comes out? Keanan, can you confirm we have the right gender, please?
Then like I don't know how to do also because like y'all both in between me. I cannot, I only y'all.
Tina picking up the disc and will play it from the brick mark. Sandra is back as a reset option. Adam in the mid. Disc is not yet in. Disc tapped in. Adam will need to cut again. Sandra looking for an outside option. Tina looking for the huck and getting it to Chris. Chris who grabs it. And unfortunately spilled it. Turnover. Chris quite disappointed with himself. But needs to forget about that. and play what's in front of him. Loud attempt from Adam. He's working hard following his player. Another loud attempt. Probably just enough to put his player off. Adam now going deep and turning back to make sure he stays in contact with what happens behind him. Sandra stepping out to Richard, who's going to look for a reset to Adam, who worked nicely to get into space and put it straight to Chris for a score. Chris is thrilled with that. Chris demonstrating that even when something goes wrong on the point, the goal is to forget about that and focus on what's in front of you, and sometimes you get the score. Score 12-4 to Singapore. Sand Sharks contemplating an epic comeback. Chris, no doubt, about to give a shout out to Bunnies. Nice, Chris! Great work, man.
Thank you.
Chris apologizing to the Singapore players for spiking it. On the Sand Sharks line, we have Leah, Anna, Pieter, Keanan, and Kenny. Just coming in from Pieter. That's going to sit really nicely. Pieter following that up. Kenny on D, Pieter on D. Break throw coming around Pieter. Oh, incredible layout, Singapore. They just keep working hard and make it look easy. Great defense by Kenny, tracking his player, who's going to possibly put that up the line. Going for the high release backhand for the score. And that is the game. Singapore take it 13-4. And deservedly so. Thank you to all the supporters who've watched this game. Please feel free to leave an encouraging comment or message to the team in the comments. And we will see you in a short while for the game that Ultiworld will be streaming. That is Sand Sharks against Belgium. And later on today, Sand Sharks will be playing Estonia.
DB, you found a scorekeeper, DB.
Timmy, Captain.